Hey, what's up, you guys? It's your buddy Moonie here, your friendly neighborhood Moonie here, coming to you with my first series of videos called M3, which means Moonie's Movie Minute, or TV show. I'm going to do movies, but on a rare occasion I'll do a TV show. I'm actually going to be starting with a TV show, which is the new Netflix original, Stranger Things. If you guys have not seen this show yet, I suggest that you guys stop whatever you're doing right now and completely go, because it is an amazing show. And like I already said, a Netflix original. This is like really an amazing show in the sense that it fills a niche for science fiction. If you love 80s science fiction, this is the show for you. It really, I will say that if you're not a fan of science fiction or the 80s, then it might not be like I said, it's like a really niche TV series. Kind of short, only about 8 episodes. Well, only 8 episodes, and the episodes are something like 50 minutes at most, not even a full hour. But it's still really good compared to, when it comes to Netflix originals, they kind of just keep putting out stuff that is just really high quality. I'm a fan of Orange is the New Black, House of Cards, that kind of stuff. So seeing this for the first time, or seeing like this pop up and have them like kind of tip, because there's also Hemlock Grove, which if you guys have watched, I'm not personally a fan of Hemlock Grove at all, but I don't know, I could see how people like it, but to me this is a much better version of what Hemlock Grove could have been if they just added a little bit more suspense and a little bit more action too, because this show definitely has action. So it stars Winona Ryder, David Harbour, Finn Wolfhard, those kind of people. Winona Ryder actually, I think, is like the best actor within this show. The kids are definitely like really good. Like Finn Wolfhard, you would recognize him from let me see his full thing here on the IMDb. Oh, he was on Supernatural, of course. He's gonna be the new kid from It. And I think he's kind of like, he's been within the like Supernatural film / TV crowd for like a while. He's a really good kid actor. I really enjoyed him in this. But like I said, I think Winona Ryder is basically like the best actor within this, probably the biggest name actor for sure. So kind of going on, the story takes place about, well, let me just say that the whole series opens up on a group of kids playing Dungeons and Dragons in like the early to mid 80s. Like, I can't remember the exact date, but it's the early to mid 80s. So, they're all dressed in 80s attire. It has the 80s feel on this is just phenomenal, from the music to the production value. You actually feel like you're back then. And it's about this town set back east, and this town has been, I don't know if there was like a series of experiments going on there because it was kind of like the small town to keep hidden, or what exactly was going on, but an alien entity has attached itself to like the power station in this town, unbeknownst to basically everyone in the town. What ends up happening is you see a group of friends playing Dungeons and Dragons. They finish their campaign, and then they end up going home, through bike trail and that kind of stuff, to where one of the kids actually gets abducted. That's all I'm going to say from there, because you really need to see like how it unfolds, because that's kind of like the best thing about the show. So that being said, the show, I'm going to do like my bug thing, which means the bad, the ugly, and the good, because I always think it's good to end on a high note, so I'm going to do the bad things first. Before I do that, though, I really want to show you my favorite personal clip of the show. And yeah, this was just, to me, this is my favorite part, so here you go.
And 4 boxes of 38s.
What are you kids doing with all this?
Monster hunting.
Guys, okay, so that's the characters Jonathan and Nancy. Jonathan is the brother of the kid that got abducted, and Nancy is my personal favorite character. She is like this girl that's like the quintessential like teenage girl, but she's still really smart, and she has like this real warrior instinct about her. And I just love, from Arya of like Game of Thrones to all other, like Wonder Woman and that kind of stuff. I just love really strong female characters. And like as you can see in the clip, I mean, she's pretty badass. So yeah, the only thing bad on this show really that I would say is that I wish it was longer. Like I said, it's only about 8 episodes, not even full hour episodes. I went through this show really quick. I think only like in 2 days, and I could have honestly finished it in a day, but I just didn't care that much to binge watch. Not that it wasn't a great show, but I really wanted to sit and watch it and not just kind of have it ongoing in the background. So yeah, the bad of the show is that it's short. I also wish that they kind of developed more characters and kind of went into like different characters' backstories. I kind of feel like they only focused on maybe about 3 characters on here. I mean, well, maybe 4, because you get like the main kid who becomes friends with this other little girl who's like basically his age, who has psychic and telekinetic powers and is basically just badass. But other than that, you do have a lot of side characters like Lucas, which is one of the kids, who actually is a great, like, he is like the biggest skeptic out of all of them. He does not like this. He doesn't want to deal any of this. I wish they kind of would have like built him up a little bit more. But how I kind of feel is that like the whole, and this is one of the bad things, is that I kind of feel like how some shows have like pilot episodes. This was like a pilot season. You could definitely tell that Netflix didn't know how this was going to be received. They were definitely trying to fill like a niche market with kind of like a Steven Spielberg-ish kind of 80s like E.T. gone bad type of shit. You know what I mean? Like this is how it really feels. Like if E.T. was evil, like this is basically what I would think that it would look like. You know what I mean? Anyway, that's the bad on it. There's really no ugly, like there's really nothing that I would say that like they seriously like truly screwed up on. My main complaints was just that it felt more like a test series, so you could tell that they were being really safe in the story. I feel like it could have been a very unique and exceptional story if they had kind of just delved a little bit more into the lore of it, because it really has to deal with like parallel dimensions and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, I really kind of wish they would have give us more information. But the ugly part, there really was no like clear mess ups, like something that I just could not get over, and that's what I consider the ugly. I mean, ugly is stuff that you just cannot get over, that you just know that it's just terrible and that kind of stuff. The acting was always okay. Whether it was the side characters or whether it was the main characters, I felt like everyone was pretty believable. There was a couple of plot holes, but I don't want to like ruin anything for you. I mean, there's a couple of plot holes, but like in the sense, like I said, I think they were just working with very short time. But I don't think that there was anything glaringly like, okay, like this is unbelievable. You know what I mean? You kind of have to suspend your disbelief. You know, I mean, in any science fiction movie, you kind of have to suspend your disbelief, just because if you ask too much why, it's like, well, okay, now you're just ruining the fantasy aspect of it. Anyway, so going to the good, the main parts that are great about this show are the soundtrack, because I feel like it was totally fitting. If you guys seen It Follows, which is another great horror movie that's kind of quintessentially 80s, even though it kind of jumps around from seeming like it's in the 80s and seeming like it's in modern times. The soundtrack is amazing. Winona Ryder does a great performance at being the frantic mom, like trying to find her son and that kind of stuff. I really think that she was believable. And like I said, for how many child actors are in here, I feel like they held it together really well. Especially like the character of Eleven, which is the girl that has psychic powers. And I mean, she could literally like make people's heads explode. It's pretty awesome. So yeah, with the exception of maybe a couple scenes that I think just weren't well written, I really think that all the actors like held it together. The production value is amazing in the sense of how it really makes you feel like you're in the 80s and like transport you to a different time. I mean, you feel, if it wasn't for the quality of the video, you would definitely feel like you are in the 80s watching like a TV show. So I really have to give kudos to Netflix on that, and also just the fact that Netflix just continuously and consistently is keeping up these flicks and these TV shows, and I just have to really say I appreciate it. Keep them coming, cannot wait for the second season of Stranger Things. And in total, out of stars or anything like that, if I had to give it a score, out of 10 stars, I would say that this is easily an 8.75 out of 10. The only reason it's not a 9 is because I kind of wish that it's a little bit longer. Please make it about a 13, maybe even 15 episode series, and then I would feel like really invested in it and just like completely, I mean, I'm already invested in it, but I kind of feel like things were rushed at the end. So I would definitely love more to kind of flesh out little side characters like Lucas, the other kids, Will, obviously, the kid that got abducted. But otherwise, I would definitely file this under a must-watch. You know, just take a couple hours a day. You could watch easy 2 episodes a day and be done by the end of the week. So yeah, I would say 8.75 out of 10, must watch. And please like and share my videos for more. I'll be giving more critiques. Like I said, this was a dry run of Moonie's Movie Minute, even though this is a TV show, M3. And thank you guys for being around for my first video of M3. Take care.